So the easiest way to add decimals is to use a place value chart. I know they use the E word. Don't get caught up in the E word, baby. It's okay. Don't focus on don't focus on how they said it, just focus on what they said. All right? The easiest way to add decimals is to use a place value chart. Now you can use pictures and money and all this other stuff. There's a lot of different ways to think about adding decimals and subtracting decimals. But the way that is most consistent with what you know, the way that will be used the most often in the future, the way that you should become the most proficient at, the way that is fastest and most reliable on paper is to simply line up your decimal place value units. Always line up the decimal points when you add or subtract. I'm going to highlight that keyword, always. Always line up the decimal points when you add or subtract. This way you add tenths to tenths and whole units to whole units. When adding decimals, you regroup just as you do with whole numbers. So let's try a couple of these. Let's do this middle column together, and then you can finish the rest on your own. 1 3/10 plus 2 8/10. So I'm going to write that in my place value chart. 1 3/10 plus 2 8/10. I would need to regroup, and so I'm just going to start adding here in the far right. 3 plus 8 is 11. Going to regroup 1 and keep 1. And then 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. So 4 1/10. 2 4/10 plus 3 7/10. Looking at my place value chart, these are my tens, these are my units. So 2 4/10 plus 3 7/10. You're always going to keep that decimal point lined up. You're going to force your place value units to be aligned. 4 plus 7 is 11. Regroup 1, keep 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 3 is 6. 5 8/10 plus 12 6/10. 5 whole units and 8/10 plus 12 whole units and 6/10. So I have my tens lined up, my units lined up, and my tenths lined up. I will need to regroup, and so I'm going to begin adding all the way here on the right. 8 plus 6 is 14, and so that will be 14/10, which is the same thing as 1 4/10. 1 plus 5 is 6. 6 plus 2 is 8. And then nothing plus 10 is just 10. And so my final answer will be 18 4/10. Go ahead and try the rest of these.